Okay, so here we are for the battle against Trav. This is somebody I didn't get to face way back in the day. There is the Iron Crown, a little bit surprised about that one. No 𝙁𝙗𝙍𝙀, I definitely expected webs, so that could be a little tough, but I think the game plan should be pretty solid still. I don't think that there is too much that still stops 𝙁𝙗𝙍. The plan here is to lead off with 𝙁𝙗𝙍 and hope for the best, essentially. There's not a great deal that checks 𝙁𝙗𝙍 as well. Especially if it's not like Calm Mind Iron Crown as well. As well as my Calm Mind 𝙁𝙗𝙍. We should be able to 1v1 that. If it's just like Assault Vest or 𝙁𝙍𝙬𝙀 or something along those lines, try and deal with Flutter Mane. Yeah, the plan, lead off with 𝙁𝙗𝙍, try and just win off rip, essentially. We're like anti all kinds of leads. Like the only lead that we don't really match up well against is going to be the 𝙁𝙗𝙍𝙀, and we didn't really match up all that well against it regardless. Actually, do I want to lead off with Bombirdier? Having a quick second thought about things. I think actually leading off with Bombirdier, breaking a sash, and then going into 𝙁𝙗𝙍 might actually be the better play. Did I just say breaking the sash on 𝙁𝙗𝙍? Assuming it's Deoxys lead. Because it could also be 𝙁𝙗𝙍𝙀 lead, which Hold My Sack also deals with. So yeah, we'll lead off with this and see where the day takes us. Good luck, have fun to Trav, somebody we have not played before. A PPL original. I think original. Definitely an old PPL name, that's for sure. Coming back this gen. MNDA is going to be the Deoxys. Okay, so I assume this is just going to be like Sash Hazard's lead. Getting this paralyzed if it's like T-Wave as well would kind of suck, but not be the end of the world. I feel like there's a better chance that you just want to Meteor Beam. Okay. I die to that. 100% I die to that. Yeah. Okay, so strong start. Very strong start. Love to see that. You know what? I actually might just go into you. This is fairly quick. What do you call it? Deoxys. So I don't think it's going to be just lead. By the fact that it was Meteor Beam, I'm going to assume it's probably got some coverage. But I'm pretty happy, I think, just to click Calm Mind. Though this thing could be a threat, I think it's probably better for me just to, yeah, there's a T-Wave, he misses, which is actually ideal, but it doesn't actually end up mattering too much. Simply for the fact that I am Rest Talk and not any other kind of set. So, yeah, getting up to +1, very nice. I think I'm just happy to keep doing this. I don't think there's too much reason for me to be super worried. Outside of the fact that 𝙁𝙗𝙍 always gets paralyzed. It's been paralyzed every game, I think, this season that I've bought it. And every single game, it has been paralyzed at least twice. So, yeah, I want to go for a Terra Starstorm. Probably going to see this, try and break my Terra Shell. If it's just Meteor Beam, it actually can't do that. But surely it's not just Meteor Beam, is what I'm thinking. Like, it can't just be Meteor Beam. I'm kind of hoping that the Great Tusk comes in. If the Great Tusk comes in, we might be on for a pretty fun time, but... no. Stealth Rock. Is it just Meteor Beam? Did I make the worst possible lead with going Bombirdier? I mean, Bombirdier, I wanted to come to a game prior to it being dropped. So, okay, it's not Sash. So we've still got our Terra Shell intact. We are paralyzed, which obviously sucks. But we get rid of the Deoxys. So we traded 1 for 1. And I would say Bombirdier, Deoxys. The trade is probably a little bit in my favour. Couldn't tell you for sure, but I think it might be. We do have boots on bundle, so I'm not too worried about taking that damage. In comes you. I'm just going to Terra Starstorm, I think. Light Screen. Okay, so dual screens per Marina. This should still do a decent amount of damage. And by a decent amount, I mean, quite frankly, nothing. Perhaps I should have just Starstormed again, in case... Yeah, in case of this. I think of all the plays that I could have made, this might have been the worst one. But you know, going hard Tusk, unless this is like Assault Vest Tusk, shouldn't be the end of the world. Right, we've had this broken, so how do I now want to play around potential... Like, he has to close combat with Great Tusk if he wants to take this out. With that in mind, do I just go out into Flutter? It's quite an aggressive play, because if he headlong rushes, we do just fall over. I would have liked to have had Bombardier to have taken one hit from Great Tusk, but at the end of the day, like, it was going to take rocks, and it's a Bombardier. So, Flamboid is you. Okay. Do I get back to my Terror Shell here? I do. Is there any reason for me to not Starstorm? At +3, do I even kill this? No, because there's the thingy up, isn't there? But I think it's still worth me clicking it once, because I'm going to, like, Sleep Talk these later. Okay, so he's going to Terror as well, which means now he's not taking the Starstorm. Terror Grass, I expected that, because, you know, bundle and all that. Like, just a 50-50 of bundle is really nice for him. Flare Blitz, I mean, this will take it with the light screen up, but we also take that, and we do get the Starstorm off, which is obviously really nice. Does a huge amount of damage. So that put me down to 290, which makes me think that it's banded. Can I gain any information from that? So it put me down to 290, which is 26%. Would have done 30 to 35, so it's not choice banded. Close combat wouldn't knock me out. I kind of just want to rest. Head Smash also wouldn't knock me out from here. So yeah, I'm just going to rest. He just Flare Blitz again. Gets a crit and we still live. Okay. Yeah, that's Terrapagos for this season. Well, since this isn't banded, since this is not banded, I can go bundle afterwards. He doesn't have a great deal for bundle. Is this worth keeping around? No, does it die to rocks? I think it dies to rocks. And I don't really want to switch in anything yet. It dies to rocks. Oh, that's tough. We would have been back up at full, and this would probably have died. But, you know, it's the game we play. Terrapagos this season, anytime where it's been vital, it doesn't get parried, it gets parried. So, but it's still, it got a kill and it's broken this. Like, I'll take that. That's something. Necrozma still looks great. In fact, we might still be in a position where Necrozma can win. We just need to bring it in on the right Pokemon. So, with that in mind, do I go into you first? Because I want to set Necrozma up on something like Iron Crown, maybe a Primarina, maybe a Great Tusk. So if that's the case, this brings in more of those, and he can't Extreme Speed me. So is it Scarfed actually? Doesn't matter. That's actually another reason to go into this. So yeah, we'll get our booster energy. And I'm just going to click Moonblast. There is not a Moonblast. I think there is a Moonblast resist. So actually maybe it's better for me to just click Shadow Ball. Because you've got to assume that that Iron Crown has been EV'd to take 2 Shadow Balls. In fact, it doesn't even need EVs to hit KO. So yeah, I'm going to Moonblast in case Crown comes in. Okay, well, it didn't. So I had to think about that far more than I should have. But Arcanine goes down. And I think if Iron Crown comes in, I'm just going to taunt it. Because I don't want it to set up in any way. If it's slow, I can deal with it. If it gets the agility off, it becomes a little bit harder for me to deal with. But I do still have a gouging. Thatcher comes in? Yeah. So this is still good, right? It's still pretty good in the matchup. But at the same time, having this potentially get a weakness policy agility off would really suck. I think I play to not lose on this turn by clicking Taunt. And if he Tachyons, he Tachyons, right? But I can't have him agility, weakness policy, all that shit, because otherwise I'm in a really bad spot. Yeah. So now I'm just going to Calm Mind. until the screen's end, because I should be able to take one Tachyon at +1/+1, and I think the screen ends next turn. Perhaps something I should have looked at. But if that's the case, I need to make sure it's boosted speed. We would KO, well, have a good chance of KOing max HP. If it's specially defensive as well, then obviously we won't. So I will just Calm Mind. And I think regardless I click Shadow Ball on his next turn because it can't set up. So unless this is Heavy Slam, no, it's just Tachyon. Does the screen end? It did. Okay, I counted those turns right. Good job, me. Thanks, me. Shadow Ball, I think, has just got to be my play here. And getting rid of this thing just immediately means that if Meow comes in, I should just... Maybe I can Dragon Dance? I should be able to Dragon Dance on that. I want to say I could. The safer thing would be the Prim, maybe? It's going to withdraw, I assume, Meow coming in. I'm going to assume that's a Meow. Nope, it's not, it's this. Okay, well, I'll take that. No more screens. Because this sure as hell does not take a Moonblast after as well, so... Good job, Fluttermane. Putting in the finest. There is a chance that it's Sucker Meow. And if that's the case, I think I still just take that chance. Because Meow would potentially just give me... Yeah, in comes Meow. It could potentially just give me Gouging, and that's kind of just what I want, right? I'm just going to click Moonblast. If it suckers, it suckers. Doesn't sucker. Dead Meow. Love that. Does anything live a hit? Surely not. I think Flutter just sweeps from here. There's definitely a chance. Like, I had to risk the sucker there because it's still a setup condition for another Mon. If you're Babiri, and by Biri I mean fucking Roselli, they're very similar. Very similar. If you're like defensive, I mean Moonblast is still the play. Endure Custap, I respect it. But I don't think it's... Okay. It's Endure Salak. You know what? That's fucking fire. It doesn't matter, but it's fucking fire. And then I'll just Shadow Ball. So after weeks of Fluttermane doing this grand sum of fuck all, I guess my only concern is if this somehow manages to live. So with that in mind, do I just taunt it? Because his play is to just agility, right? Like, Gouging will kill this. Just gonna Shadow Ball. If this lives, then I'm gonna be so fucking depressed. Okay, we're good. Good game to Trav. Fluttermane is broken. I had to make the plays I did, and it turns out the plays I made were the right plays, and the plays that won the game. So, a little bit unfortunate we lost our Terapagos and Bombardier in the ways we did. I will apologise to Bombardier. He did not deserve that. Pick up the win. Good game to Trav. Make sure to go check him out. He's recently started uploading again. Like you enjoyed the battle, subscribe. And until the next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.